Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Once Upon a Lime, Storytime with the Besties. And today we have Tabitha. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, I had to have you on season 2.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Season
you were.
2. Wow.
When I was like making the list for season 2, I'm like, okay, and Tabitha has to be on it.
I'm thrilled to be a part of your show.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming. So we're gonna start with, do you remember where we first met?
I do. Of course I do. Oh my gosh.
Go ahead.
Wow. First day. First day.
Yeah, first day.
Yes, that was my first day.
Of
We
work.
met
Mhm.
at work. You took me under your wing.
Yeah.
Showed me around. I remember the coat closet distinctively for some reason. I think that's where we really had our conversation.
Yeah. Did I
First
give it to you?
conversation.
Give it to you straight there and tell you like all these? Because that's where the hard hitting stuff happened. Was at coat check.
I think we sat there and talked about Las Vegas for a while.
I remember. That's what I was gonna say. Because I remember you were because you lived in Vegas, for the people that don't know you, and you were telling me how like you were over it, and I was like, I'm going to Las Vegas in 2 weeks.
And I was like, oh, this is awkward. Let me try to backtrack a little. No, I had just left Vegas after 20 years living there, and I had been in the Bay Area for like a couple months by the time we met. So yeah, I think that was like my first time explaining to someone my my love-hate relationship with Vegas.
Yeah, totally valid though. Like, it's Vegas. Like, obviously, living there is going to be different than going as a tourist.
It is. Well, it's hard to actually enjoy where you live because you get inundated with tourists.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So, like, the Vegas local perspective is so different. I think people come from all around and they see it as a party town, so they think that, it's appropriate to behave however, and it's like the locals aren't all like that.
No.
We're not running around in bikinis on the strip.
Why not?
Some decency,
I'm just kidding.
No, nothing on Vegas. Nothing bad on Vegas. I did see they just finished some sort of sphere dome for concerts, though. You probably know better than I do. You've been there more recently. I need to go back.
We were there. It was a short trip. It was like I flew in basically the middle of the night is what it felt like. We had one day, and then the next day we had a little bit of time in the morning, and then I left again. It was
a quick turnaround trip.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, best time to go is the winter time. It's not like
it was nice because the one day we were like walking on the strip, and the sun was shining. It had just rained like 2 or 3 days before, and so like the air felt like a tiny bit of moisture. In the desert.
So that's a first.
Yeah. And then it was like cool, but the sun felt good.
Yeah. No, I know. That's the one thing I miss is the like year-round sunshine.
Yeah.
So, that's why I went over to the East Bay now.
Yeah.
Left the city, had to get away from the gloom.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's hard. Unlike the mental health.
I know, seriously.
To be in cloud cover for so many days.
Seriously. I know. Needed that sun.
Yeah, and even in the summer, you're like, it's summer?
I know. That was probably the biggest thing getting used to moving out here. But I don't know, starting off at it was a nice adjustment transition into living in the area.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we met.
Of course.
You were my trainer that day.
Yeah.
Showed me around, and gosh, that train though that they had in that theater lobby, that stuck with me. I love that thing.
I do too, but it was like the most boring thing ever to try to watch over that thing all day long.
Oh my gosh. See, I had like the glazed eyes, like, oh, everything's amazing.
The honeymoon. That's what we called it. Do you remember us calling it that?
Sure.
How long was your honeymoon? How long was your honeymoon?
Gosh. Mine was about 6 months.
Which I think is as good as you can ask for.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I think mine was maybe a little bit longer than that.
Yeah.
But certain things were happening and the honeymoon was over. So, but I think you were my first trainee, officially.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, gosh.
So,
yeah,
it worked out well.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I just remember the computer was like, don't search things on this computer. What? You put a computer in here? I'm in here, like, by myself, nothing to do. You're like, how do I do this without anyone knowing I'm doing something?
Oh my gosh. And I was probably like, just make sure to go to incognito mode.
Hey, I didn't know that at first. I remember searching, like, I need a dog sitter so I can run away on a vacation this weekend, aka we're going to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Does PetSmart have a reservation? Let me check. No, I found out about the incognito a little later. Or maybe you told me and I just totally went over me. I don't know, but I'm amazed I didn't get in trouble for that.
Well,
I tried to be discreet. I think there's a couple times I even brought a book. I put a book inside of a Disney book to make it look like I was reading.
God. I feel like this could be the like launch point of us talking so much shit, but maybe I'll keep it cool.
Conversation, yeah. Yeah, no, I know.
The people that know. Like, if you're listening and you know exactly what I'm talking about, you already know everything I'm about to say. But I won't.
Oh, man.
Because I'm a good person.
Oh, man.
We moved on.
I'm going to move past that now. Yeah.
No, but it was, yeah, I remember training you and when, like, I was asked for feedback of, like, what do you think of the new girl? Because I'm the only one that really knows you at that point of, like, your first 2 days or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's so sweet. I love her. She seems so nervous. Like, she wants to do it right the first time. And so I was like, like, she's going to be great once she gets there. And you did.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Yeah. I know. I was, gosh, you know, I'd moved to the city and I was eager. I would say I was very eager. It's just me and the dog, you know, cooped up in that little marina apartment that I complained so much about. Yeah, so, but I'm thrilled to leave Vegas, thrilled to start at the museum.
Yeah.
And yeah.
We were happy to have you.
5 years later, here we are.
Isn't that wild?
I know.
It's not been a full 5 years.
Yeah.
For us knowing each other.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, has it?
Because I just
almost
basically 5 years.
This year in the winter.
Because you started in January.
Yes. Oh, that's true. My interviewing was in December. So okay. So I'm rushing us. It'll be 5 years in San Francisco for me.
Yes.
But you and I, 5 years.
Yes.
Come January.
Yes.
Yeah. And you would know because you went on that Vegas trip. So there you go.
I just remember, I mean, I used to have all that knowledge locked away of like the order of who was hired when and when it was, because I like to make a big deal out of people's work anniversaries. And so I remember when you hit your 1 year, I was like, welcome to the 1 year club. Like,
I was like, I'm out of here, please. Just kidding.
Pretty much.
Gosh, I know. I was like, I'm interviewing at other places.
And I was like, girl, get the bag. Like, get out of here.
And then the pandemic.
Yeah.
Everything just went
but we cannot
edit that out.
We'll see. We cannot talk about our friendship without talking about your going away party at the bowling alley, because it was like February 2020, right? Was when you left, and
it was literally the last week of February.
Yeah.
So, gosh, it's been almost 2 years.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
It feels
3 years.
Oh, 3 years.
This is 2023.
You're right. What year are we in? What year is this? Gosh. What is time?
Yes, it's almost been 3 years. And like weeks.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so your going away party, literally everyone showed up. And it was the cutest thing.
It was so sweet. Like, I think people enjoyed just being together. Like, it felt like beyond a going away party. It just felt like a really nice gathering.
Yeah, and it was like we had people that were long gone came in. So it wasn't like it was just everybody after work met up. It was like we had people actually like making an effort. And I was like, trying to hype you up. I was like, Tabitha, this is how cool you are. I was like, you made such an impression. Everyone loves you.
In my brief year. Look at what you did.
If you know where we worked, a 1 year was like a long time. Like
Okay.
Tabitha was a seniored member of our team.
Oh my goodness.
So it was like you made such an impression that everybody like wanted to make an effort to celebrate that.
That was awesome.
And say goodbye and good luck.
Awesome. Yeah. And little did we realize how much we valued that.
Oh my
time
gosh.
together.
It was
It kept me going at times.
Yeah.
I think during the remainder of 2020 to know that I had that nice
Yes.
gathering.
We joked it was kind of like the last supper. Like it kind of felt like we all came together and then like shit got real right after, but it was like we had that
I
like
know, that really was.
final finale. Like
Hey, and they had mozzarella sticks.
oh my god. And that's what we always get.
Sticks. Oh my gosh. I remember the food.
Yeah.
I remember the food. Yeah.
They've
that
since
was so
remodeled.
awesome.
So I don't know.
Oh, they have?
Yeah, I don't
Wow.
know if it's good still.
You know what's interesting? I've been to this bowling alley multiple times. I've never gone bowling there.
Me neither.
And I don't know anybody. All I know is it's the one place in, the northern tip of the peninsula
Yeah.
that you can get fried food. So
Oh,
I go there.
I never even
It's
thought
hard
about
to
it like that.
find. Like everything's so particular.
Yeah,
It's hard to
yeah.
find. And where else can you find mozzarella sticks other than a bowling alley?
They're so good
I
too.
know.
Like there was a few times where we would like go for a walk after work and then we would
Mhm.
end up at the bowling alley with
Yeah.
mod sticks.
It was
Like
exceptional mozzarella sticks.
yeah, 10 out of
You
10.
go out of your way for these things.
That we did. Yeah, and
Oh
they had
my
like the
gosh.
chicken nuggets and then they
Yes.
had like obviously a selection of alcohol. So it's like you could get a White Claw there if you were feeling crazy. Like
Had a rough one.
yeah, kind of.
Like it's been a day.
Yeah, but I think I mean it's expensive to bowl there. I know that.
Is it? Okay, yeah.
And there's like 8 lanes.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like half of that bowling alley is like the food and bar area.
yeah. See, I'm spoiled. Back in Vegas, you could get games for like $1.50
Ugh.
a game. Like,
I haven't been bowling in so long.
gosh, neither have I. And I
We should
think
do it.
I'm pretty sure I told you this when we were at the museum. I truthfully want to start a bowling league.
Ooh.
Like, I
You're
say
good?
I love bowling. I'm not great.
Okay.
But it was one of those things that I did with friends in high school.
Oh.
I did.
Yeah.
So, and there were times where even on a school night, we'd stay out bowling till midnight.
I love that.
Now, I was unfortunately, maybe I don't want to embarrass myself, but my nickname was like Sasquatch.
No!
Because when I
No!
went with the ball to roll the
Oh
ball,
my god.
I had a signature issue where I would like freeze frame, look behind me,
Oh
like
my
in the motion of like a Sasquatch.
Like don't take a
So-
picture of me.
Oh
Like-
my gosh, it was like who's staring at me, like kind of like, huh?
Oh my goodness.
So yes, bowling. A lot of my friends had personalized bowling balls. I never
Wow.
had that. I always wanted one though. So
That's so cool.
I was really like in a position where I want to spoil myself. I'd want a custom ball
Yeah.
in a bag. have a
Maybe like
league.
next time you have like a great life event,
Yeah.
or like
Hey,
a
I'm
big
turning-
birthday.
35.
Yeah, maybe that's what you could treat yourself.
Yeah.
Because that's, if that's something that you were doing that long
I love
ago.
those balls with like the glitter glaze
Yes!
in there. Oh my
I love it.
gosh.
And you whip that ball out of the bag and you're
Mhm.
shining it up
You
and
get
you're
that
like, yeah, this is my
cloth for
ball.
polishing that ball.
Yeah.
Gosh. But see, then you got to really go all in. You got to get the shoes. You got to,
Oof, that matching?
Yes.
The drip?
Yes.
I see this in your future.
Yeah, but and then so if you did have a league, I like the whole back patch concept. You get the short sleeve,
So fun.
button down,
And, like,
dual color.
Do you have like a team name?
back patch? I haven't gotten that far,
Okay.
but I know on my ball it would say tabs,
Mm.
TABS.
Like tabs open or open tabs.
Well, tabs,
Like something like
my nickname in high school was Tabs.
yeah,
Wasn't just Sasquatch at the bowling alley.
like your
So.
team, like open,
Yeah,
like open tabs.
Aw, that's cute.
And then
That's cute.
everybody's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
okay. Well, something to think about.
See, but like something falcon. I don't know. You put like a bird on it.
Falcon.
I don't know. You could go to town. Like, you
I mean,
could
yeah,
really
there's
go to
no
town.
rules. With
There's
bowling.
no limit, right?
Yeah.
It can be whatever you want it to be. I think like an animal or a bird. I don't know. Something.
Yeah, well, if a bird's your vision, like
Yeah,
then you make
hello.
that happen.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Oh my
love it. And
gosh.
like I love how like campy they can be. Like
Yeah.
bowling like
Yeah.
logos and stuff. Like
Yeah,
it's they have so much
exactly.
fun with it.
Exactly. Makes me think of, because you know, like those back patches. You see, like those people that go to the Disney parks. They have their gangs. The
Yeah.
gangs of Disney is what
I
I
do
call it.
know.
It's like they've got their crew. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, bowling. There you go.
Yeah, and bowling
Hmm.
shirts are
You'd have to be a
cool.
part of my bowling league. Come on.
But here's the
It's
thing.
like a 2-girl league. That's it. How many people are in your league? I don't know. 2. There's 2 of us.
I'm actually so bad. So I wouldn't
It's okay. See, in this league, you can have your bumpers. It's fine.
bumpers I'm better, but
Yeah.
it's just I like maybe the first like 6 frames I'll be doing all right.
Yeah.
Like not good, but all right. And
Yeah.
then I'll think that I'm good,
Yeah.
and then I'm not.
What else?
And
And you get like
I'll-
a turkey, and then you're like, "Whoa, I'm
No.
on cloud 9,"
No.
and then it just kind of falls off.
No, it's definitely not like that. Like I'll be getting 7, 8 pins,
Yeah.
and then I'll be getting like 1 per frame.
Oh, okay.
Just gutter balls the
Going
whole
south,
rest
it's
of the
going
game.
south, yeah.
And then I get mad, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm done.
I'm done. Oh, I'm ready to go. You guys
Yeah.
done here?
I
Seen enough.
suck. Because it's not fun when you're like,
Oh.
can't throw the ball.
Oh my, oh my gosh. I know. The struggle.
I'm probably better like cornhole or something. Like than
Start up
bowling.
a cornhole league.
I-
Yeah.
The professional cornhole is a real thing, and it's intense.
I believe it.
Have
I
you seen,
believe
like-
it. I'm sure they have their matches in Vegas, you know?
That's definitely what it was.
They'd host like every type of sport imaginable.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
They like there's certain rules and like the strategy of it. It's not just like you're good. It's like, oh, you got to get here and then here and the points and da 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 da. It's like, okay, that's too much.
Yeah. In the angle of it all. Like,
Yeah.
it's got good form.
Yeah.
That form.
You know, it's like curling where it's like
Oh my gosh.
it looks like
yes.
it looks like a fun time, but then when you're
Yeah.
actually doing it professionally, you're like, oh my
Yes.
god, they have to really think about what they're doing.
See, they always hosted at the Orleans Casino. They'd have curling
Mm.
championship there, whatever. And I was always like, I want to be that person with that little mop thing.
Yeah, the
that's
broom.
scrubbing
Yeah.
the ice.
I know, and then they're like, stop, and then
Yeah,
oh, it's so
yeah.
intense.
Oh my gosh.
Just I mean, that's the best part about like Winter Olympics, if
Yeah.
we're being honest.
No, definitely.
I don't know, maybe you have a different opinion.
No, for sure.
Curling's the best.
I think it is. I know. I think well, you know, given that we had the local championship, I was interested in
Yeah.
it, and I'm like, I could do something like that. Like,
Right?
come on.
That's what- well, it was like something like the only sport where they've had a pregnant woman compete in the
For
Olympics.
sure. There was one year there was like 2 sisters, I think, were a team.
Mm.
It was like so you see families, a family,
Yeah.
like, you know,
And the older
anyone
people
can do it. Exactly. It's not restricted. Do I fully understand the objective?
No.
No,
Does anyone?
probably not. But I do appreciate.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah,
more age inclusive too.
it is.
So
That's
older
true.
people can be involved in curling. How
That
did
is
it
true.
even become a sport?
I don't know.
Like in the
You can
Olympics.
thank the Canadians. I
Did they
don't know.
invent it?
I'm pretty sure they did. I think it came from Canada.
That's something that I
I-
mean, they got a lot of cold weather up there.
They do. They're like, we gotta keep ourselves entertained.
Let's
We
throw
gotta
some
be
rocks
active.
on ice.
Yeah, let's do this. It's like a giant block of granite, like gliding around.
Oh my goodness.
It's,
That's a good time though. I
gosh.
would be interested to see how hard it actually is because they make it look so easy on TV.
Mhm.
But it's like, okay, if I got out there, what would it look like? It would be a
I know
mess.
you and I out there.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like got my
And our-
Swiffer. Let me.
In our bowling shirts.
Gosh. Well, okay, so I didn't really know about curling until, I was in my late teens, I would say.
Yeah.
That was around the time
Yeah.
where I was aware. I don't know when it grew in popularity or what was going on there, but I do remember being a kid playing Kirby's, like a Kirby video game on
Interesting.
Nintendo. I'm trying to think. I think it's like Kirby's Great Adventure or something. It was on
Ooh.
the N64,
Love it.
and Kirby could kind of shapeshift,
Mhm.
right? There was even something you could eat turns into a refrigerator, food spits out of him,
Ooh.
whatever. But there was one there was one thing that you consumed, and it would turn Kirby into one of those curling
Aren't they called like rocks or
cubes.
something?
Yeah, because it had a
Or
handle on the
whatever?
top,
Yeah.
so it's circular, with the handle. And I remember just not knowing what that was at that time, and then seeing curling.
Interesting.
I'm like, Kirby just shapeshifted
Into one of those
into one of those
thingies.
thingies, yeah, on the ice.
Yeah, the first time I remember was I'm pretty sure it was 2008 Winter Olympics. We went on vacation and we were in the snow and the Olympics were on. And it was like snowing outside, and I actually don't like the snow at all. And so we were hanging out inside, obviously, and I felt like that's all we were doing was watching curling. And then it's like when you're that age, because however old I was in 2008, when you're that age, like one thing can become your whole personality. You know what I mean? Like
This is what I live for.
that's exactly. Like if you look at my Facebook post from like that time period, it was like all about curling. And it lasted probably like 3 months.
Wow.
I was like, I'm obsessed.
I didn't know.
Did I make an effort to learn any of the rules? No.
Oh my
But I would
gosh,
just,
like,
I was so
this is
excited about it. Yeah.
This is my calling in life.
Curling's
Curling.
the best. Curling's so fun. Look at that. Oh my God, it's so cool.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's
So,
awesome.
it's pretty embarrassing, but.
No, I think that's pretty cool. I think that's awesome. Yeah. It's like live, breathe, eat, or curling.
And then it's like the Winter Olympics are kind of over and people forget, and then it's less
On to the
important.
next
kind of, yeah,
thing in the
thing
year.
I was obsessed with.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh man.
All right.
Yeah.
Next thing that I told you we were going to talk about. Coffee.
Coffee.
You're a big coffee
yes.
lover.
Gosh.
Isn't that what I gave you for Christmas?
Coffeeaholic, yeah. Yes. Yes.
How was it?
Delicious.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Disney coffee.
I know.
I know.
Because Jeffrey's, was it Jeffrey's or was
It
it
is.
just like Disney?
It said Disney. It said like Buena Vista.
Okay.
I don't know if
So
it's
probably not
Jeffrey's,
Jeffrey's.
but yeah.
Jeffrey's, like, because you're going to Disney World
Yes.
soon.
Yes.
You have to get some, like, a Jeffrey's, like, iced vanilla latte for me.
Oh, okay. I will. I will.
I got one every single morning when I was in Disney World. Like, I was on the app, like,
It's your
where's
fuel.
the closest Jeffrey's?
It's your fuel. So I have tried Jeffrey's
Regular coffee.
Yes. Well, it was some concoction with whipped cream on top. It had a
Oh.
lot going on.
Oh.
I wouldn't get it again. It was very, very sweet, but the
Yeah,
iced
I
coffee
mean-
I can do for sure. Iced vanilla latte I can do
Yeah.
that.
It's pretty sweet, so maybe you
yeah.
won't like it.
Yeah. No, I'll just be like, can we tone this down a hair?
No, because it's like pre-made.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah, it comes from like a
gotcha.
machine.
Oh,
And so my
okay.
brother, like for the first like 3 days we were there, he got like an iced chai because they have that too. And he's like, "But
Yeah.
can I get like a shot of espresso in there?"
Make it a dirty chai.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
were like, "Yeah, sure." They can't do that there. Like they were conning him.
Oh.
They were like, "Yeah, sure." And they gave it to him and it was just a regular chai latte.
Oh.
or they put a little bit of the latte in there, but I was like, because when we went on like the 4th day,
They're like, how do we do this? He wants this. I
Yeah.
don't know. Like
on the
just
4th day when we went,
tell
and
him we did it.
Yeah, and we ordered that. They were like, we don't do that.
It's like, what
Bro,
were
what have
they
they been
giving me
giving
this
you?
whole time? What were you feeding me?
It was so funny.
Oh,
that
man.
was like $100 down the drain from just
It's part of the experience.
Jeffrey's, Joffrey's.
Joffrey's. I think Joffrey's. I'm not
Whatever.
sure. You know, it's with a J, not a G. So I think it's Jeffrey's. I'm not sure.
But there's like an O in there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Joffrey's.
But I think it's because like cup of Joe, it's like
Joffrey's.
Joffrey's.
Ew, I don't like
Yeah.
that.
Sounds terrible. No, so the location I went to was in Tomorrowland. In
Disneyland?
In Disney World.
Oh,
In the
okay.
Magic Kingdom.
Oh.
And the
I know
only-
exactly what you're talking about. I've been to that one too.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of like like a hut or something.
Yeah,
Is it?
that's usually what they are.
Yeah, okay. There's a freestanding one in Disney Springs
Ooh.
near the boathouse.
I'm not as familiar with Disney Springs. But
Trying to think.
I trust you. Because the last time I had been to Disney World
Yeah.
was 2007. And then we went again 2 years ago. And
Mm.
the only time we spent there was we had reservations at a restaurant. We made it over to the restaurant, we left. So it's
Ah.
like, even if you were trying to describe to me, it's by the, I would have no idea what you're
Do you
saying.
know where the what is it?
I don't even remember where we ate.
The like the cars, those aqua cars that like go.
No.
Oh, never mind. Next to that, across the way from that,
Okay.
there's a freestanding Joffrey's.
Yeah, I just remember
Jeffrey Joffrey.
the restaurant was really loud. That's
Mm.
all I remember.
Mm.
I don't even remember
There
what
are
I
some
ate.
really great restaurants there.
Yeah.
I've tried a couple different places there.
Yeah.
I just feel bad I don't remember the name.
I trust your opinion. Because don't they have like an Indiana Jones restaurant there? Or am I making that up?
Well, there's that T-Rex restaurant there, which
Okay.
kind of looks like it would be something.
T-Rex! But isn't
I
it
don't
like
know.
Rainforest Cafe for dinosaurs?
There's also a Rainforest Cafe there.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think. I can't think of the name. There's some really great restaurants there.
Yeah.
If you're a foodie, like there's some celebrity
Which-
chefs that have.
Yeah.
And even if you're not a big foodie, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's
Well, yeah,
like-
I mean, I appreciate
yeah,
good food, but I don't consider myself
Yeah.
a foodie.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the problem. Like, you know, when you're married to someone in the food industry, their critiques
Yeah.
can go wild when you're eating. It's hard to just enjoy sometimes.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah, and then you become awfully aware of how food is, you know, produced and so forth, and so it's like, oh, you know, the sauce is just coming from a bag. You know that, yeah?
Oh my gosh, because
And it's like,
Yeah.
I just want to enjoy it. Don't tell me.
Yeah.
Just let me think that they made it for hours in the back.
because as the pod knows, I
Yeah.
worked at Disneyland and I did work in food service.
Know about
So I
this.
did see behind the scenes,
Uh,
and I went through this phase where I was like, you
the
guys,
shock.
yeah, I was like, no, I mean, I wasn't that shocked because I get it, their operation stuff,
Yeah.
but some of the things I would be like, you know, that came from a bag, right? And that's like most of the stuff. Like people
Yep.
don't realize, like
Yeah.
the biggest. Maybe I won't say it because I don't want to get
Such a heartbreak.
sued by Disney or
Oh,
ruin
yeah.
people's dreams. But
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
a
yeah.
particular dish that people loved. I feel like I don't hear about it anymore, but everyone was always talking about it, and I would see them in plastic bags downstairs, and they just
Yeah.
like
Yep.
fry them up and serve
Heat
it.
it up, and
Yeah,
it's
and I'm
done.
like, okay, well, I've
Yep.
seen.
Mass production.
Yeah.
There we are. Hey, you know, I
But-
guess it's kind of the only way to get the job done
Yeah.
sometimes. I mean, it's kind of, you know, the labor cost to have somebody make everything
Yeah.
from scratch is
Oh
through
my
the
gosh,
roof.
insane. There are a
Yeah.
lot of things though that they did, like the bread bowls.
Yeah.
Those are legit. They cook them at a real bakery on site. And when they would get to us, they would be
Oh,
like
yeah.
steaming. Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
bags that they put over them would be like with moisture because they were that hot when they gave them to us.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So,
You know, living in San Francisco, we
Oh
have
my
boudins,
God.
right?
that's the bread at Disney.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. There is just something about getting a bread bowl with soup in Disney that is so much better than even getting it
Oh.
in San Francisco.
Ooh, that's a hot take. I love.
There's just
love hearing
something
this.
about it. Especially, I mean, gosh, they do, I think it's in October, they do like a beer cheddar soup.
Ooh,
with
that
boudins
sounds so
there.
good.
And they don't do that here.
No.
Like, you go here down on Embarcadero and it's always chili or tomato soup or
Yeah.
clam chowder,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But you go down there, broccoli cheddar.
Yeah,
like,
they're really
so
there.
many
Yeah.
great things.
Well, the thing about Disney is that I have to give it to them. They are about giving like excellent customer service, and they're about doing things well, efficiently. So it's like they know, even if they haven't been making this sourdough for 150 years like Boudin's has, they know how to like get the best people to come in there to make it the best and serve it and charge $30 for
There you
it. Like
go.
they know.
Hey, maybe that does play into the you know, the enjoyment of
Yeah.
the product.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because even if
like-
it's prepackaged, like
Yeah.
they're still getting
Yeah.
somebody that knows what they're doing to do it.
for sure. For sure. Yeah.
And it's about the experience.
Yes, of course, of course.
So
oh my gosh.
you're not, eating that particular dish in a particular land at Disneyland.
Everything's better.
It's just better. Life's
it's a
better.
grilled cheese. Like,
Yeah.
no, but it's a Disney grilled cheese.
Exactly. Like,
always
and the
better.
churro thing, like, I fully know that those are like a bag of frozen churros. Like, I've
Why
seen
does my
them.
Costco churro not taste as good?
Exactly. It's from the same cooked the same way.
Oh my
But it's like
gosh.
I'm in Tomorrowland eating a churro. Like,
Oh
obviously it's
my
gonna taste
gosh.
good.
Of course.
Come on.
Oh my goodness. Well, so this will be my first time going to Disney World in the spring.
Mm,
In the past, it was always summertime. This will be interesting.
interesting.
Yeah.
And it's like hot. No, like
I don't
when you were
know.
going. No, when you were going in
Yeah,
the
oh
summer.
yeah, before for sure. Yeah,
Yeesh.
always hot. Yeah. So we'll see. Like, we gotta figure
I
out
think
how
you're
to
gonna have
pack.
fun.
Yeah,
Because we went in February.
February. Okay.
Thinking, oh, this is a great time to go. When's the best time that no one's like it's gonna be less packed?
Yes.
And it wasn't. It was actually really busy, but regardless, it was so hot, and I was pissed.
Really? In February?
Yeah, I was like, this is a scam.
Wow.
Florida's a scam. It was
a total sham.
it was
Oh.
each day got progressively hotter and more humid. And so the last day we were there, which 2 of my family members were hungover because they decided to drink around the world the day before.
Of course.
And it was 90 degrees. I wanted to
What?
murder someone. I'm
Oh
like,
my
it's too hot.
It's not like, I mean, right now, what, in the morning, this morning, it was what, like 40?
Yeah,
like
it was
38,
cold.
40. I mean, we're not passing 55 right now. Like,
No.
for me to go to 90 degrees?
That's a big jump of like
Mhm.
you're used to
Yikes.
cold.
We need to pull out the summer clothes.
Yeah. I mean, obviously check the weather.
For
Don't listen
sure.
to me. But
I'll be like, Emily told me
No,
it's gonna be
no.
hot. Now I'm cold.
you have tank tops and that's it, and it's like cold. That wouldn't listen to me.
Is it? I just don't remember. Like in the evenings, does it cool down like it does in Disneyland? Like Disneyland always has like warm day, but then it gets cold at night. Like,
Yeah, that's.
I don't know. Does Florida get cold at night?
I don't know. I don't remember either
Like,
way.
Yeah, I need some expert advice on this.
Yeah, not me. Like I said, I'd been to Disney World like 2 times in 12 years.
Oh my
Like I
gosh.
don't.
Okay, this will be my third time.
Yeah, you've been more than me
ever. Third time
recently.
Well, the last time I went was actually a couple weeks after we met.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember I was
that's
so
true.
excited for you, and I probably
Yeah.
told you I haven't been in 8
Oh
years.
my god, it was one of those things where like I got the job and I'm like, I have a vacation.
Okay, I did the same thing,
I
and it
have a
was way
vacation.
worse than
It was
yours.
pre-planned.
Yeah, and I probably told you that too, where
Oh.
I told them I needed a month off.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a
And they
big
were
one.
not. They were not happy about that.
They're
But
like,
you know what?
oh what?
Yeah.
Why?
And it was literally 2 days before, or like 2 or 3 days before I was gonna leave, and they're like, "Oh, your unpaid time off has been approved." And exactly, I was like, when was it not approved?
And again.
I'm like, if I don't have a job when I come back, that's fine, because I am going on this trip. But yeah,
Like,
how long were you there for? You're only there for a little time, right?
Maybe like 10 days.
Oh, shit. I thought it was like 3 days or whatever. No, 10 days, that's the best. Did you do anything else when you were there?
Or no. Oh, I thought you were meaning how long was I at the job? No.
No, how long was your trip?
Sorry, no, my bad. Let's see. It was a week.
Yeah.
It was a week. We did 4 days at the parks.
Okay. travel
I
days.
try to take like a day off in the middle of
Yeah.
the trip.
We did not do that this last time, and it was a mistake.
Yeah, I found that if I rest in between,
Yeah.
I won't feel as
Yeah.
tired. And maybe that's age catching up to me. I don't know. But, this will be the third time going to Disney World.
Yeah.
And I feel like I finally found like the good combination of how
Good.
to
Good.
enjoy it to the
Yeah.
fullest, right? So I like to start at Magic Kingdom.
That's what we did too, because I was like, I want the classic
Yes.
opener.
Because if you don't, then the whole time you're just like, where's the castle?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then
completely
you
agree.
rotate your way through. This
Mhm.
time we're gonna do 5-day pass, so the last day will then also be Magic
We did
Kingdom.
the same thing.
Yep.
That was
You gotta have your
okay.
closer,
We're on the
right?
same. That's exactly it. Because we
Yeah.
had like a nice. We did like the Be Our Guest
Yeah. Oh,
dinner on
yes.
the last
Yes.
night as like the grand finale. So it's the
Yes.
opener and the closer.
Yes.
And then Epcot's my favorite, so we did that also twice when we were
That's
there
awesome.
because
Yeah.
our hotel was there, and it's the best. I love Epcot, even as a
Yeah.
kid, which
Well,
is
I'm
rare.
excited to see what they've been doing there. There's a
Yeah.
lot going on.
Yeah,
I
Tron.
really want to go on Ratatouille. Brand new ride.
I haven't been on the one in the States.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've been on the international.
Hey, that's awesome.
And I heard it's the
That's awesome.
same. And it
Yes.
was, even though I'm afraid of 3D, 4D rides, it was incredible.
Oh my gosh.
It was really cool.
Wow. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
They're
Definitely worth
bringing
the
that
wait.
to Disneyland though, right? Are they
I don't
going
know.
to eventually? I don't know.
Honestly,
Maybe they're not.
I've like stopped paying attention.
I know.
And I'm like, just tell me when it opens.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, they start to announce things so early and get people hyped up. And I was like, call me when it's open.
I'll be there. I just don't need the stress
Like,
of when.
Is it going to be when I'm there or not? Like,
yeah.
that's like all
does
I
this
need
pertain
to
to
know.
what I'm doing?
Exactly.
If it doesn't, I don't need to know right now.
Like, the whole Splash
Yeah.
Mountain thing,
Yeah.
they announced that
Yeah.
so long ago.
I
And
know.
I was like so long ago.
Like, why is this taking so long at this point?
And every
Yeah.
time I've been on Splash Mountain, I'm like, is this the last time? Or is there going to be
Yeah.
another time that they didn't tell me about? Like, when is it closing?
Yeah.
But I just stopped paying attention.
You know, so the last time I did go to Disneyland, normally I don't go on Splash Mountain.
I don't like it. So.
I don't like getting wet. I really don't.
Me neither.
Because then you gotta walk around soggy.
I don't like, even when it's
not
hot,
fun.
it's not my
I know.
not my steez.
I know. But the last time I went, I did
Yeah.
ride it. Had nothing to do with the announcement. I just thought, you know what? Let's do this.
Yeah, switch it up.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But, you know, Aaron and I were on the front end.
Oh God.
Bunch of like much younger people behind us.
Yeah.
It was front heavy, I'm not gonna lie, and oh my gosh, we got soaked. I
No.
spent the whole rest of
No,
the day just so
no.
soaked. And I was like, I mean, I had a great time.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the point, I guess.
But then sometimes you're just like assessing your choices.
Oh
You're
my
like,
God.
why did I do this again?
Yeah, and there's like this particular sensation of like you're soaking wet and you're walking, and when you take a step, your shoe like makes that noise when it's
Ugh.
wet. You know what I'm talking about? And the
Yes.
water like shoots out.
Ah,
It's like
the
so
worst.
uncomfortable.
Oh my gosh.
Even the noise and the feeling, that is enough for me to be like, no thanks.
That's just awful.
I have to be wearing
Yeah.
sandals or something. I
Mm-mm.
can't.
I know.
A wet shoe is that's how to get me to
Mm.
confess anything. Put a
Not the
wet shoe on
shoes,
me.
Not the shoes. Anything but the shoes.
My grandma, the thing is, my grandma loves the water rides. So
really?
the last time we were there, it was like just before closing. And she was like, what are we going to do now? And I was like, you want to go on Grizzly River Run? And she's like, oh my God, really? Like she was like
she's
so
I thought
excited.
you'd never ask.
And I was like, yeah, let's do it. I was like, we're about to go back to the hotel. So let's just like, I'm like, rumor has it that they turn it down in the winter.
Oh yeah.
So you get less wet because it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, let's go. I know you want to.
Yes.
So we went on Grizzly River with these two young girls. They were probably like young teens. And I was like, I'm so scared, guys. And it was so cute because they were like trying to like not get their shoes wet.
Like,
was
that
like,
is a lost cause. That
I'm
is not
scared.
gonna happen. Because you already know. You're like, I know what's gonna happen here.
Exactly.
You don't know yet. So you're not that scared. You should be scared.
Yeah, I was like screaming the whole time. I was like, this isn't even a scary ride. And I'm over here like fully like, why did
my
this is for
gosh.
my grandma. I was like,
Now,
nobody else.
I will say though, like I don't like getting wet on a ride for sure. But if it is like really hot,
I still can't do it.
I do like that ride though.
Yeah.
Grizzly. Like that for me, I will do that just because I feel like I can like shield my face somehow. Like I can somehow protect what I don't want to get wet easier than I can on Splash Mountain.
Yeah, that's true. Less control.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Lee.
You know, and it's all about how you position the raft before going down. Because
That's
if you
true.
get that thing spinning, like forget it. You can almost calculate who's gonna get.
And then you go,
Worse.
there's that
You're like,
moment.
get those people.
Yeah.
We don't know them. They're not with us. Like, angle it, Aaron. Spin the wheel.
Or like you're just sitting there. You're like, it's me. It's me. I know it's me. And you're just like accepting your fate of like, I'm fucked.
Oh my god. It's like all of a sudden, like something calculation goes off.
Yeah.
Suddenly you're spinning in the. You're like, oh man, this is it.
It's me. I'm the one.
Yeah.
I'm the one that somebody's gonna look at me and go, damn, that sucks. Like when I get off this ride. Oh my god. Yeah, see, even in the summer when it's warm, I don't like the feeling of being wet. Even when like if I go swimming and I get out of the pool or the lake or whatever, I don't like being wet. Like,
yeah, no, I can agree with you on that.
It's just like a weird sensation thing I don't like.
That's why I was reluctant when we went to Hawaii for the first time a couple years ago. And well, for me, first time, not for him, but you know, I wasn't eager to go because I'm not a fan of you know, but I will say, like, I was okay.
Good.
I handled it. I went into the ocean.
Nice.
I was so like taken like by myself. I was like, wow, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Like, but I will say for me, I don't like sand. Sand for me.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. The combination of wet and then being on the sand and it gets go on you, it's just like can't do it. So that's where my like my challenge is that.
Yeah, as I get older, I care less about the sand because remember when I was young, when you get wet and the sand sticking to you, I would like freak out. But now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, whatever. Like it's a great exfoliant. Oh my god.
See, maybe I need to look at it from that.
I was rubbing my feet in the sand, and I was like, yeah, exfoliate. I'm telling you, the whole bottom of my feet like peeled off. Like it works.
This is happening.
Yeah, and I was like, this is both so disgusting and so like
satisfying.
Exactly, just to be like, my feet are renewed.
Gosh, I'll have to remember that when I'm on a beach next time.
Yeah, I literally was like basically like digging a hole with my feet, like really rubbing them back and forth on the, and it was the
making
best.
Yourself a little hole there.
Yeah, and like when the sand's warm, and you like put your feet in it, I like that feeling of like comfort.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, see, and I would totally. I mean, if the opportunity to be on a nice warm sandy beach comes up, I will not pass it up in the future.
Please invite me on your vacations.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, it's actually very relaxing.
It is. It can be.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first time I'd ever swam in the ocean was when I was in Costa Rica, which was like a couple of years ago. Yeah. I'd been to the ocean. I've touched the ocean. I've never swam in the ocean before until then.
Wow.
Which is wild coming from someone who was like born in California where the ocean is like right there.
See, I was the first time I swam in the ocean. I was a teenager, you know, came out from Vegas. It's like some beach somewhere near Malibu or something like that. And, you know, being an individual who wears glasses.
Oh, no.
Let me just say, a wave caught me.
Okay,
and
same thing happened to me.
Spit me back out. Yes. Like I tumbled. My glasses were in the ocean, and thankfully they came back up, right? They washed ashore. But I remember just that fear of, oh my gosh, I can't see, and I don't know if I'm okay. And you know, I'm like 16. I had my friend at the time there with me, and it was just like
I had a similar experience actually when I was in Costa Rica. A wave caught me off guard, and I was like, oh my god.
Am I okay? What just happened? Like your whole body's moving in a way that you don't normally move. And did I break something? Yeah. Is my neck okay?
At this age? Like, oh my god. Because I'm like always been so that's why I've never swam in the ocean because I know how the ocean can behave.
Oh my god.
And so the fact that I got so caught off guard like that, I was like, what?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And my sunglasses flew off. Gone. Luckily they were just
Did you recover them?
My friend found them. And I was like, no way.
Oh man.
I thought they were gone.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, same thing happened again, and I was like, you know what? I'm taking the L. The sunglasses are with the C now. Like it's, don't try.
Don't take me. Okay.
Exactly. If that's the sacrifice that had to be made, that's fine.
I'm to pay.
I'm going back to the pool.
Oh my gosh. safe over there.
Yeah.
It's predictable.
Exactly. Oh my goodness.
See, when I was a lot younger, we lived in northern Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
Tahoe was like
Yeah.
20 minutes from
Yeah.
home, and I was just used to a nice, calm lake.
Yeah. Yeah. I grew up. That's what we
yes,
did.
yeah, that was
So
just
that was
normal.
my body
Yeah.
of water. And
Predictable.
yeah,
I like a lake.
me
Lake
too.
is safe. I know
Yeah.
the dimensions, like everything
Yep.
I can gauge. Yeah.
Yep. And
The ocean is beyond.
no.
Yeah.
Immeasurable. Like
Oh, yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I can't, my brain can't wrap my,
I
like, I
know.
can't understand, like, how big and how deep the ocean is.
I know.
So when people are like, let's go on a boat, I'm like, let's
Oh,
not.
for sure. Oh my
Let's
gosh.
not.
That's why when it's like, you want to go on a cruise? No, I
Oh my
do
God,
not.
I could never.
I can't.
And so many people, well, you don't notice.
When you hug the shore, that's different, though. That,
I can't do
perhaps. And it's even hard when you think of flying over the body over. I
can't do that
It freaks
either.
me out. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
luckily haven't had to do that in a while because
yeah.
I'm like, don't look.
It's like people sedate the dogs. Maybe I
Yeah.
need to be sedated. I need to not be aware of what's going on
Yes,
here.
agreed.
Yeah,
It's
for
not.
sure.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they're like, oh, like, you don't notice, or like, oh, that'll change when you go on a cruise. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I want to go. I
Yeah.
can't convince myself.
Oh,
The ocean is too scary.
no, for sure. No, I totally understand. So this is not my story, but Aaron's family, they
Mhm.
totally went. They did cruises from time to
Mhm.
time when he was younger. And it's like, for me, I know this is crazy. I am just such a germaphobe.
Oh my God, I know.
Just,
It's so
for
scary.
me, I feel like the ocean's frightening,
Yeah,
but
other people are
being
frightening too.
on a ship with a bunch of people,
Yeah.
the
Oh my
danger is
God.
there. Like,
I
I don't
know.
care how sophisticated your hand washing system is.
Even
Like,
if it's 30 full seconds.
Like, and every time I have a moment where I'm like, maybe I get on a cruise, then you hear on the news,
like malaria
big
breaks out or
breakout,
something.
like,
Cholera.
they're stuck on the boat
Oh my
for a set amount of days. Like,
I mean, that was the beginning of COVID.
exactly.
That was the very first like
exactly.
COVID craziness was the people on the cruise ship.
That is correct.
Oh my
That
God.
is right. And we would know because it docked up
It was
here.
parked outside of our house.
Yes, it did. It did.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah.
I love that people love cruises. I
The
want them to
Corona
have fun.
cruise.
They sound like a sweet gig. I'm not.
Mm-mm.
I'm going somewhere else.
Not partial. Yeah. You'd rather spend your resources and your
Yeah.
time in a different way.
Yeah.
I prefer land. That's just me. That's just me. I mean,
I mean, same. I'm not too big on being in space either, so that's where I'm at too.
Oh my gosh. Well, speaking of, I know this show is brand new. I was telling you earlier, definitely this new show. I'm curious about it.
Yeah.
The Hello Tomorrow on Apple TV.
Not sponsored.
Not a sponsor. Yeah, I'm telling you, like, anyone who
Interesting.
enjoys like Tomorrowland, like, it's catching my eye. I'm interested.
Mhm.
I recommend it. First
Yeah.
episode was last night, so we'll see how it goes.
It's super interesting to like. I mean, I don't know anything about the show, but just in general, like what people thought the future was going to look like. It's so intriguing to me. Like, what did you think we were going to have? That we don't, or
I
like
know.
that we did.
I
That too,
know.
like.
I know. Well, it's like, you think of like how much progress they were trying to,
Such a big push.
leaps and bounds around that time.
Yeah.
But then, like, we also like kind of romanticize like our idea of what it was like at that time too.
Totally.
And I mean, for what they had was not at all even what we have right now. So like, you think like, oh, it was kind of futuristic in a way because they were like hitting new points of technology.
Yeah.
So like watching that show just kind of makes you think of like, that's probably the fantasy of what they wanted it to be.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Did you ever watch that movie Blast from the Past?
No.
With Brendan Fraser?
No.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. You have to
Is this
watch
a movie?
this. It's a movie. It's a movie
Okay.
from the 90s.
Okay.
And it's about a family who went into an underground bunker because
gosh.
they thought that, this atomic bomb came and that they were
Uh-huh.
the only last surviving, people on Earth. And so Brendan Fraser,
Uh-huh.
their son, who was in the bunker with them,
Uh-huh.
they're running low on supplies. So they're like, we're going to send him up. We're going to send him up. We're going to see what's out there,
Oh my God.
see if we can get some supplies,
Yeah.
come back to the bunker. You have to
Wow.
watch it. I will not give away any more
Okay.
information. It's Alicia Silverstone
Okay.
and Brendan Fraser.
Interesting.
Fraser, I think. Anyways, really cute movie, hilarious.
It's a comedy.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's good. Definitely very 90s.
Interesting.
hmm
Yeah.
Watched it one too many times.
We've all been there. Of like watching
It's-
that one movie.
yeah.
And for me, it's like 15 movies that I rewatch.
Oh yeah.
And you're like
Well, it's one of those things. You have those ones, right? It's like,
comfortable.
yeah,
You're like
yeah.
when you want to feel a certain type of way, you're like, let me just put on my like comfort
Mhm.
movie.
Predictability.
Yeah, I know exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my favorite part.
Yes, I know.
So
I
that's why I
know.
watch Hocus Pocus like 30 times a
Yeah.
year.
For sure, for sure. Well, it's funny because everybody kind of has their movies, right?
Yeah.
It's like Aaron had a long week, and all of a sudden he turned on like Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, and I was
Oh
like,
my
"What are we
God.
watching this for?"
Not
Like,
even the original one.
so, but you know what? Then I kind of realized I was like, I think this is one of his movies.
Yeah, I have a lot actually,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah.
When it's raining,
hmm
I'm almost always watching National Treasure 1 or 2.
There you go.
That's my favorite rainy day. Like
I've been watching that.
the show.
That show, yeah.
I still
Yeah.
have the last two episodes to watch because I
Oh,
keep
really?
like not being focused enough to watch it.
We're kind of, and I don't know where you are in it, and I'm not even, I can't recall what episode we're on. We're at the point where she kind of discovered that the one guy, like, something like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Okay. That's where I'm at.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I saw another episode or two after that.
Oh, okay. So I've got plenty
No,
more.
maybe one more
Yeah.
episode after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got more to
No,
go.
it was good. I just like the adventure aspect
Yeah,
of it and
for
like
sure.
the nerdiness
Yeah.
involved where she's like, wait, and then she's like figuring out all these things and you're like, oh my God, that's so
Yeah,
cool.
for sure.
So like same thing, like Da Vinci Code is kind of like the European version of that where he's like doing all these nerd mind things.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? That's interesting. I watched that for the first time
It's
within the past 6
good.
months.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I remember when the book was
Yeah.
big
It
and
was
then
a
the
big
movie
deal when
came
it
out.
was like
Everybody was
2004 or whatever.
yeah. Yeah.
I read the book before I watched the movie. I did that on purpose,
Oh, okay.
which was like way after it had come out.
Yeah.
And so when I was reading the book, I was like, this is Tom Hanks. So I already like had that in my head.
Yeah.
And the book's really good and the movie's really good. So it's like
Oh,
it did
yeah.
not disappoint.
Yeah. Gosh,
Um,
the only time I could say I read the book and then watched the movie was The Devil Wears Prada. My sister, one of my older sisters, bought me the book,
Uh-huh.
and I remember I then finished the book, and they're like, "We're making a movie." So when I'm
Oh.
watching the movie, and I know so many people do this type of thing,
Yeah.
and so I mean, it's not always where the book comes out and then the movie. A lot of the times you're watching a movie, but the book is older and it's based on.
Yes.
So that I think we've all done, but the
Yeah.
whole concept of reading it and then it becoming a
Yeah.
movie is kind of, it happens, but not
Yeah.
all the time, right? But I just remember like critiquing the movie. I loved the
Yes.
movie, but I remember like that's not the way it goes.
Yeah.
And so you can't help but critique.
Yep.
You're like, no, that's not how that starts.
Mhm.
The storyline's a
No,
little
that's
off.
exactly it. Like
Yeah.
you can't turn that voice off. That's
Mhm. Yeah.
like telling you the narrative of the book and how it's different. Like I did that with Hunger Games.
Mhm,
I read the book before the movie came out. I think a
Mhm.
lot of people did with that one.
Mhm.
Younger people. I was a little old, but whatever. Um,
Not important.
it's not. So watching it because I had just read the book.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, 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 no. And I'm like, why did I do that to myself? I was like, if I didn't read the book, I
Yeah.
probably would have enjoyed the movie way more, even though it's the same movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've done it a few times. Gone Girl was another one that was like the book was hot, and so I read the book, and then they made a movie, and I was like,
See,
oh, shit.
I think because my level of criticism from that experience, I was like, I'm not
Don't do
doing
it
that to
again.
myself
Yeah.
again. Because I just want to kind of enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
Keep it separate, you know.
Yeah.
And then it's easier for me to watch the movie, and then if I want to read the book or whatever, that's fine, because I'm not going to sit there and critique the book. I'm just going to say, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I like how they did this.
They adapted it differently.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know some people get hung up on who they select to play particular people.
Yeah.
And that can get a little frustrating too.
Mhm.
So, yeah, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's Hollywood, baby.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
like...
that's true. What I always like is when they're like, could you imagine, like, so and so was originally, you know, desired for this role, and it's like, you're so like, oh my gosh, I could never even imagine that person, you know.
Like with Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
I think all of those people are cast perfectly. So it's like, regardless of what the book says, they did an amazing job with the cast. Like, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
That, it's such a good movie.
I know. No, like, definitely.
Meryl Streep is a
definitely
icon.
Well, I think, you know, in the book, you know, the personality of Meryl Streep's character, it really,
Miranda.
Yes, she just comes off as so, like, the aggression in there, like, that you get from reading it in the book is more so, like, so
she delivers it more in the movie. Is that what you're saying?
No, she seems a little more approachable in the movie. In the book, it seems more like, oh man, like, you know, like, it really, you see the depth of it. I think a little bit different. It's a pretty quick. I mean, it's not a long read. If you ever feel like you want to read it, it's
because I really do like that movie, and the story is, it's interesting. So
yeah, but see, when you're reading the book, it starts off with her driving.
Okay.
She's frantically trying to pick up a delivery or whatever it is. So it starts off with her already in the role.
She already has the job.
And then it's backing up to how she got there. So that's why, like, it started off so different from the movie that I couldn't get past that for the first 20 minutes. I was like, what is going on? And then I'm like, oh, okay, we're bypassing that part. We're jumping into the building up the stories.
Yeah, it's like that audio that's like, you're probably wondering how I got here, and then like freeze frames, and then it like rewinds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's just books are a different medium, so it's like it's easier for you to like write somebody to be harsher, or like to write a timeline in a different way. Whereas like a movie, it's harder.
But see, that's why it's better for me to just be like, you know what, the movie is the movie, the book is the book. Don't expect the two to be the same.
It's hard though. You know? Like I don't know.
But that is one of those movies that you can put on.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
No problem.
Exactly. It was cute. I watched it one day, and then I was telling my brother, I was like, oh yeah, I watched Devil Wears Prada today. And he's like, you know, I think I've always wanted to see that. And I was like, let's turn it on. So I watched it 2 times in one day, which was a little much. But I was like, I thought it was cute that he wanted to see it. And he loved it.
Good.
Stanley Tucci's character, he was like, he's so funny. He made me appreciate his role more.
Oh,
the way my brother was like laughing at his jokes and stuff.
That's cute. Yeah. Enjoyed by many. Yeah, you know, so last night, you know, I was like, I wanted to watch a movie, predictable. I watched The Royal Tenenbaums.
Okay.
I hadn't watched it in like 10 years. So I was like, let's turn this on. You know, and of course, you know, Luke Wilson is in it. And so, of course, I'm like, The Family Stone. And I know that's a movie that you and I
it's
talk
so
about
good. We do. We
every
have bonded
year.
over that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's so... I don't have words.
Yeah, I know. And his character in it is just like
so cute. I want to date him.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
but
give
then
him
you
a
see
hug.
like the true love that, like, you know, it's like,
and him and his dad, like that
like,
scene.
you have a freak flag. Just don't fly it. It's like, you know, maybe we all need to hear that. You know. I tried to get Aaron to watch it one time. He was like,
he didn't.
He watched it, but he was a little weirded out about the situation of the relationship.
The swapping and the
yeah.
switching and
Which
the,
is,
yeah.
I mean, understandable. Like, I get that.
Yeah.
It is a movie. Like, you know, I've never known anybody who had an experience like this. So is it realistic? Maybe not.
Yeah.
But, you know, just from, I don't know. I like it though.
Yeah, I
It's
like
a
it
great
too.
story.
And I remember it being like one of the movies that really made me emotional.
Yeah.
So it's like when I first watched it and just being like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm like crying.
No. See, that movie came out around the same time as like Devil Wears Prada. Like, it's all those, like, you know,
Mid 2000s.
mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really
time
good
for
movie.
movies. Yeah.
I really recommend it to anyone. It's very calm.
It
Like
is.
the plot is not wild.
Mhm.
It almost all takes place like at their house.
Yeah. Within a small frame of time,
Yes.
too. Which is because it's telling a story
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
all happening in like a matter of days.
Yeah, I really like it. But it is, you have to get the tissues.
Oh, for sure.
Oh my God.
Gosh, every time. It doesn't matter how many times you watch it.
Yeah, you know it's coming.
It's like if you need a good cry, you
Yeah,
put this
yeah.
on.
Oh my God, the one part with the gift, and I'm just like, ah!
It's like, you did good, kid.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, a lot of people know this about me too. I love Diane Keaton movies.
Yeah,
So the fact
yeah.
that she's the main character in that movie too is like,
And
makes me love
Amy
it even more.
McAdams.
Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams. Yes,
I think her name's
character's
Yeah,
name
her
is
character's
Amy.
name's Amy.
I combined the two. Oh my gosh. Well, and she was like losing her words. She like wanted to, like, she was like choking up like
Yeah.
during that gift giving
Yeah.
situation there.
Yeah, she did a really good job. The cast is great.
I know.
The whole everybody is
Yeah,
fantastic.
everybody. I know.
So, 10 out of
So
10
good.
recommend. It is a
Seriously.
Christmas movie for those of you who don't know.
But it is one of those things you can put on your
That's
crown.
true. I try to watch it during Christmas
For sure.
in my lineup, but
Yeah.
it's not heavy Christmas. It's more just like family gathering.
Yeah. Winter season, huh?
Yeah.
Fall season.
Yeah. Aww.
Gosh, a real gem. One of those
It
bonding
is.
movies for you and I.
Yeah.
Like, we've
Yeah.
connected through that.
Because it's one of those
Yeah.
where you're like, oh, I'm going to watch this, or I watch this, and you're like, oh my God, I love that movie. And then you have that
Yes.
moment of being like, yeah.
Yes. Oh, that is a good one. Oh, well, I'm glad that we bonded over that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. See, it's not just Disney.
No. I know.
It's plenty of other things, too.
And let me just say this to the people that are listening. Yes, I love Disney, but it's not my whole personality.
Not
I
the
just
end
need
all
to
be
clear the
all.
air.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
feel the same way, or Disney
for
is your
sure,
personality?
For sure. No, no. No, it's a part of, you know, I enjoy it for
Yeah.
sure. I would say, and I honestly probably didn't really come to Disney until later,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I was always a
Yeah.
Disney movie
Yeah.
fan, you know, growing up. I grew up watching it, but I would say, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other layers to
Exactly.
me.
And like,
There's other layers to you, and
yeah, for sure. With Disney too, it's like a great shared experience. Like a lot of people grew up with
Mhm.
Disney.
Mhm.
So it's like we can bond over that. Like, hey,
Exactly.
Aladdin, that's a great movie, right? You know,
Yes,
and
yes.
we both have like childhood or whatever.
Growing up
Whatever
in the
movie it
90s
is.
with all those great movies
The
coming out,
Renaissance.
we're seeing the
Yep.
previews for The Lion King, like,
Yep.
you know, coming in summer,
Well,
blah, blah,
not me.
blah.
I was
and-
too young, but yeah.
But I mean, whoops,
Sorry. I was only 1 year old when that came
Rewind the
out.
clock there. Um,
But yes,
yeah.
Mulan. Oh, Mulan's coming
Yeah,
out. Oh, it looks
yeah.
good. And then it was.
Tarzan, like, you
Yeah,
know,
Phil
so many great
Collins.
things. Oh gosh, that song, let me tell you, it comes on the radio. I'm like, change the channel. Like, that to me, oh my gosh, it breaks my heart
Which
every
one?
time that You'll Be in My
Oh,
Heart.
yeah,
Oh my
okay.
gosh, forget it. Forget that song.
Oh
I
my
don't need to
God.
hear that. It came on the radio a couple days ago.
Wow.
I changed the channel. I was like, I don't want to hear it. I don't care to hear it.
Oh my God. Actually,
Every time I just think death. I'm like, this is just so sad.
yeah. Oh my God. The way his
Yeah.
parents died, that was like not appropriate.
No, You'll
Um,
Be in My Heart. No, not now.
Oh my God. I think I
Oh.
prefer Two Worlds, One Family. That's I think that song's better.
There you go. There you go. But you know, the one that sticks with me, obviously, is just like burned into my mind there. Just traumatized. Gosh.
Yeah, I didn't watch it a whole bunch as a kid. I think I watched the scene where he was a baby, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh,
Mm-hmm.
baby!" And then I was like, over it. I'm like, him as an
Gosh.
adult, boring.
Now Super Nintendo had a Tarzan video game. You're
Ooh,
basically like surfing down tree trunks
yeah,
as you're
love that.
gliding and swinging onto the
Mm-hmm.
trees. So
I can
that I
picture
remember.
like what that would
Hmm.
look like too.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah, what a
stuff.
time to be alive. That's a good
Yeah.
way to, yeah.
Like somebody asked me like the generic like if you had to pick a time to, go back in time, what would you do? And I think I would like want to be an adult in the 90s just to
But an
see what that
edited
was like.
version of it.
Just cuz like I feel like it's so fascinating.
I
Like the
know.
90s were
I
wild.
know.
Like I want to see that through an adult lens.
Yeah, for sure.
Like a computer, like and
Yeah,
then like the
I know.
Y2K like
Oh gosh. We
it
were one of
just
those households. The
just
baker's rack full of toilet
yeah.
paper. A lot of people talk about how their hoarding didn't start till 2020. No, 1999.
1999 December.
This happened. It did. This is 2020 is round two.
Just like I don't know. This it was a weird time, a
Hmm.
funny time in history. I think that I would like to
Yeah,
learn more
no, for
about.
sure. Well, no, it's like what yesterday during my work, my day at work. You try to get into your workflow. So I've got
Yeah.
my AirPods in, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like,
Oh yeah.
let's put on some Third Eye Blind. Let's listen to some 90s,
Yeah.
rock and see what we can do. And,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, it's like maybe that's where my obsession over the coffee shop comes from. Like when I was a kid, the epitome of being an adult was somebody who had like a cappuccino
Yes.
at a coffee shop, and I mean, gosh, I would get like that international select like powder coffee as a kid. It's like hot cocoa, mix it in some water. I thought I was having a coffee,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
and
Yes.
always wanted to be like older,
Mm-hmm.
as
Of
most kids. It's
course.
always like, oh, I'm going to be an adult and
Yeah.
fantasize how your adult life was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It was always like all 90s out,
Yep.
there's just something about that
Mm-hmm.
time, the
Yeah.
style, the wireless lifestyle too
Yes.
would have been nice.
Yeah, that was. I definitely had some technologies
Hmm. Hmm.
when I was younger, but
Dial-up internet.
it's yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
they're not picking up their phone. They must be online.
Hmm. It's like, who picked up the phone?
And
Trying
then
to get on.
oh my gosh.
It's like so awful, to
Yeah.
think back on. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, we did that.
We survived.
Gosh.
I know.
Yeah.
My coworkers, now they like to give me a hard time. Like, do you remember this? Do you remember this? I'm like, yes. I'm like, I was around for a little bit of that. They're like,
Oh.
you know what a floppy disk is? I'm like,
Oh
oh
my
my god, yes, I
gosh.
know what a floppy disk is. You know
Oh
what a
my
pager is? I'm like,
goodness.
oh my god, shut up. Like, I was around for a little. Like, we didn't get a computer until I was older. Like, we didn't have
Yeah.
internet until I was older. Like, I
Yeah.
remember those things. Thank
Hmm.
you.
And I remember it was all about the dial-up, and then there was like
Yeah.
talk about how people were getting satellite internet.
Mm.
Satellite. That is what then became this whole Wi-Fi bit.
Yeah.
But gosh, that was.
And like the transition to like DVDs, I remember
Hmm.
was like a really, at least for me, was like a really big deal.
It was, and I mean, I remember the word was, "This is going to replace the VHS."
Yeah.
Like, what?
Like,
Is that
no.
possible?
Yeah.
It was the same way it was with like the compact disc.
Yeah.
It was
CDs.
like, no more cassettes.
Yeah.
Could you
What?
imagine? Oh my
No.
gosh.
I can't.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Well, hey, when I came of age to drive, it was the mid 2000s,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a cassette player still.
Yeah.
So it was all about going to the thrift store,
Yep.
whatever, secondhand
Yep.
music stores, and still getting cassettes.
Yeah. My friend who's a couple of years younger than me, her first car had a cassette player.
Yeah.
And she had like her parents' like old cassettes and she would
Yeah.
carry around like a briefcase in
Yep.
her car.
Yeah.
And it was like, it looked
Yeah,
really
it was like a
suspicious,
briefcase.
but it was
Oh
a
my-
briefcase. You
like
open
a
it up,
plastic
and there's all the
case.
cassettes in there. Like, which one do you want to listen? Which
Gosh.
3 songs do you want to listen
Yeah.
to?
Like, let me fast forward.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Good stuff.
Oh,
I still have
no.
one cassette,
Did you?
just for
Yeah.
sentimental reasons. It's
Oh
my
my
Spice
gosh.
Girls cassette.
Oh. Oh my
So,
gosh.
so if I get to go back in time to the 90s, I want to go to a Spice Girls
Oh
concert.
my gosh.
Could you
But see,
imagine?
a lot of my cassettes were like 80s
Okay.
music. So it's like Depeche Mode,
Yeah.
Morrissey. Like, let me get some like
The classics.
80s punk rock in there or
Yeah.
something.
And now like vinyl's coming back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's everything's cyclical, you know.
No.
I don't think
Exactly.
cassettes will come back. I
Mm-mm.
think we've moved past that, but
Yeah. No, for sure.
you
Well,
never
and then
know.
if you want to record music on the radio,
Yes.
you hit play record.
Yep.
It's like, oh my God, I have to time it right at the start of
Yeah.
the song. I do miss the way the radio used to be.
Yeah.
Radio nowadays is not
Terrible.
at all the same. It's literally like they're pushing a start button
Yeah.
and it's just running for hours.
Yeah.
Back in the day, people could call in,
Mhm.
they could really request something.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's just
Well,
not
because
even
that
the
was how
same.
you would listen to the songs, was
Yeah.
on the radio, and you
Exactly.
can do whatever you want now. I mean, you
Mhm.
can listen to, 3,000 remixes of one song on YouTube. Like, doesn't
It's
matter.
true. It's very true.
So it's like nobody's invested in being
I
like,
know.
request this song. It's like,
Nobody
look
wants a
it up yourself.
transistor radio situation
No.
anymore. It's like, Mom, I want quality. I just want to hear that crisp sound.
Exactly.
No. But no, then there's the people that are like, can only appreciate it on vinyl. Like,
Yeah.
that's when music
Yeah.
was.
I mean, it is a little bit of a different experience.
Yes.
But
that's true.
it's for the experts. Like, sometimes I'm like, what?
Oh, gosh.
But I respect it.
Depends on what kind of like music snob you are or are not.
Exactly.
You know?
No, that's it. And some people,
Yeah.
that's their vibe, and
Yeah,
they appreciate it that way. So live your life.
for sure. At least we have options.
Exactly.
At
I
least
could
we have
listen to the
options.
remixes on YouTube, or I could listen to the
Exactly.
physical
That's
thing on
right.
vinyl.
That is very right. Yeah.
But
Back in the day, they did not have options.
Nope.
You know? That's why I say, okay, 90s, sure. Edited version, yes.
oh my goodness. All right,
Yes.
Tabitha. I think we're reaching the close of the podcast. I want to add this comment, though, that I feel like you and I have a really healthy, good communication and friendship. So I want to say thank you for that. We're both like very appreciative of our friendship. Like we're always texting each other like, I love
Yeah.
you. We're always saying I'm so happy we're friends.
Yeah.
And so I definitely like that about what we have.
Well, thank you. That's so sweet of you
Yeah.
to say.
And sometimes we'll get into this mode where we're going to go back and forth for like 3 minutes of like, I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you.
Yes. It's you definitely understand, like, it's important, say it,
Yeah.
like, it's like, I want you to know,
Yeah.
like, how I feel about you. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want, to not say those things.
Yeah.
Like, it does matter to me,
Yeah.
for sure. And I know it matters to you. And
It
that's why we
does.
do that.
It
and,
does.
Yeah.
And we have like good, like open communication with like how we're feeling. We talk about mental health and
Yes.
we're very like
Yes.
open with that, which I think is
Yes.
so healthy and good just for people in general to do.
For
So
sure.
I'm happy that we have that.
Yes.
So
And we have that level of comfort.
yeah,
right,
and
with each
safety,
other.
like
Exactly.
we trust each other with what
judgment.
we're saying. Exactly.
judgment.
Exactly. Oh, look at us.
Aw.
So I'm gonna
Aw.
sign off
Well,
here.
thank you for having me on your
Thank
show.
you for coming. We had
Thank
so much
you.
fun.
Once Upon a Line
Yeah!
with Emilee. Sign up and subscribe. Leave a comment below and like.
Hell yeah. You got it. I don't have to say anything else. I will catch everyone in my next podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.